Now that I've had a few hours to play MindsEye and some of the side activities we'll talk about in a moment, I'm going to give you my first impressions of this game, which is now available on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, along with the PC. For the record, you should not buy this game on PC, at least not for right now. I'll talk more about that in a few. So the price tag for MindsEye is $60 for the standard edition, $80 for the deluxe edition, made by Build a Rocket Boy, which is Leslie Benzies' studio. And a lot of us are Leslie Benzies fans because he used to be with Rockstar Games for a long time, from the 3D era of GTA, Red Dead Redemption, Bully, all the way up to GTA 4 as well as GTA 5. So we've been keeping an eye on the development of this game for a couple of years now. And as a Leslie Benzies fan, I wanted to check out this game for myself. So let's talk about the positives. By the way, I'm not going to give away any major spoilers up to how far I've gotten into the game. I think I've played like at least 4 hours of the main story. So no spoilers. We're going in spoiler free. The positives are the story itself. I feel like it's a really good story. It's very interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing where the story leads all the way to the end of the game. I think that the characters are very good. The main character, which is Jacob Diaz, played by Alexander Hernandez. He also played Lincoln Clay in Mafia 3. Did a great job in that game, and he's doing a phenomenal job as Jacob, the protagonist of MindsEye. And all the other characters I've encountered so far, I find them all to be very, very interesting. So the story, the characters are definitely strengths in this game. Along with the cutscenes, I think the cutscenes are pretty good. The world setting in the near future America, along with the city of Red Rock, which is obviously based off of Las Vegas, is a pretty decent looking desert city. And I'm not exactly a desert city fan. We've had a few over the past few years. Night City in Cyberpunk, as well as that one city in the Saints Row remake. Despite not being the biggest fan of the desert setting, especially for cities, I think Red Rock looks pretty good. In simplest terms, MindsEye is an open world linear story which has a combination of GTA meets Cyberpunk with that near future America feel to it. It's not all the way to the point of Cyberpunk 2077, but it's definitely a decade or two in our future, so to speak. And like I said, it has a linear story very similar to Mafia Definitive Edition, as well as Mafia 2, and most likely Mafia the Old Country. We got robots, we have drones, we have AI, we have the Silver Company, which is basically like Elon's companies combined. And of course, we have the Teslas. That's what I call them. They're basically Teslas. I know they're called Silva something, the cars. But yeah, so what's decent about the game? I would say that the driving. I know I just talked about the Teslas. I like to make that joke. But it is actually decent to drive around, along with the variety of other cars I've had a chance to try out in MindsEye. So the driving's pretty decent, as well as the gunplay, the weapons, the weapon wheel. It's not the best thing ever. It's not to the same level as driving in GTA or like shooting in GTA or Red Dead Redemption 2, but it's not bad either. It's just like a little bit below that level, but it's not the worst thing ever. The driving's way better than, for example, driving in Watch Dogs. The shooting's way better than the shooting in Watch Dogs as well, or the latest and last Saints Row game. So it's pretty decent when it comes to the shooting, the driving. Could be better, but it could also be a whole lot worse. The drone companion could also be another positive, but I've only gotten the drone companion like near the end of my first episode of MindsEye. But I think that it's going to be a very promising addition to the game that I enjoy building up and playing with more, along with Jacob. So that could easily go from decent to a strength of MindsEye by the time I'm done with my playthrough. Now, along with the main story, there's also some other missions and modes that you can participate in and try to get like silver, well, bronze, silver, gold in. So I think this is like hours and hours worth of content. We have some survival modes. We have checkpoint races, and you've probably noticed that in the B-roll. We also got drone races, some additional races as well. So a lot of races in this menu for you to check out. Plus, there's a few side quest missions you can do and repeat over and over again, such as Friendly Fire along with Honor Among Thieves. So there's a variety of additional content besides the main story that you can try out in MindsEye. And eventually, I'll be able to also unlock free roam. I try not to get spoiled when I ask this question on Google. So I believe that eventually, at a certain point in the story of MindsEye, free roam will unlock for you. I don't think you have to beat the game for free roam to unlock, but I guess I'll find out one way or the other. Now let's get to the negatives. And I think the negatives definitely hurt this game from being as good as it potentially could be. The big one is the PC version of the game. Fortunately, I'm playing on the PS5, so I didn't really have too many major issues, except for one crash during my 4-hour playthrough, but I've heard others have crashes too on PS5, including my friend Kane. He had a crash during his live stream as well. But the major problem is PC. In my opinion, Build a Robot should have held off releasing PC till it had more time in the oven. Launch the PS5 Xbox Series version on Tuesday like they did, but give it a few more months till maybe around the time they launch the multiplayer for MindsEye so that the team at Build a Robot can improve the PC port for this game, because it was a really bad first impression on Steam, and a lot of those players have already gotten refunds, and they may not be willing to give MindsEye a second chance, even if the game is improved on PC in a few months from now and there happens to be a sale. The other negative, in my opinion, is most modern consoles can handle 60 FPS, and that is why the majority of these games need to be running at 60 FPS. MindsEye should be no exception. It is disappointing that this game is not running 60 FPS on the PS5, PS5 Pro, or Xbox Series X. I hope that there's a future patch or update to MindsEye which will eventually allow it to run at a higher frame rate than it currently is on console. But at the same time, I'm still enjoying the game, but it would be a lot more enjoyable if the frame rate got boosted up to 60 instead of 30. The final negative I have is something me and my friend Kane both experienced during our playthroughs of MindsEye. I'm going to try and limit the spoiling as much as possible. There is a quick time event where you have to push buttons, and then you have to move the analog sticks a certain way, and you have to time the button pushing in order to accomplish the mini game. And I failed that so many times on my controller before I finally got through it. I hear it's easier on mouse and keyboard, but on controller, as Kane and I have proven, not so much. Maybe that's a skill or a timing issue for us, but I thought that might be worth mentioning as a negative. At least it was for me. And here's what my friend Kane said. He's also doing a Let's Play of MindsEye. So be sure and check out his channel and my channel for future episodes of MindsEye if you're interested. Quote unquote, from what I played so far, only 3 hours in, I like what I played so far. Is it the best game of 2025? Absolutely not. But it's also not a sin against humanity that I've seen a lot of people say that it is. However, the PC port 110% should have been delayed. As I've heard, the port has a lot of issues. The Steam reviews are a bloodbath, by the way. On the PS5, though, I've only had one crash, same with GB, but his crash was during a different point in the game. So it seems like the crashes are connected to cutscenes, because my crash happened during a cutscene, or right when a cutscene was about to happen. The same thing for Kane, but it was a completely different mission and cutscene. In conclusion, the only bugs that Kane experienced were NPCs freaking out and some textures of fighting, but nothing else. Meanwhile, our friend Erica on Xbox told me that she had a minor glitch or two, but other than that, she had no real issues playing MindsEye on the Xbox. And overall, my final opinions regarding MindsEye, I think this is an okay game. It's not a great game. It's not going to be anywhere near the same level as GTA 6 when it comes out in about a year from now. But at the same time, it's nowhere near as bad as Saints Row in name only. When it comes to the PC version, do not buy for now. My advice is for Build a Rocket Boy to issue refunds regarding the PC version of the game, fix it, and bring it back in a few months from now, just in time for the multiplayer to come out this fall. And hopefully those PC players will give MindsEye a second chance on PC once it's fully cooked. So if you really want to play MindsEye, stay away from the PC version of the game. I would recommend either the Xbox Series X, PS5, or PS5 Pro, despite the fact that we unfortunately do not have, at the moment, 60 FPS. I don't know if Build a Rocket Boy have any plans for a patch or an upgrade, but it would be really nice if they did. Wink, wink, hint, hint, nudge, nudge. By the way, I did put up a poll on my channel from what you play or... I swear to God, no matter how hard I try, I always have some sort of spelling issue. Okay, from what you played, seen, how would you rate MindsEye? No spoilers. So right now, at 48%, 3 robot heads. See, 2 robot heads at 24%, 1 robot head for 21%, and 4 robot heads at 7%. Feel free and go vote. And let me know your thoughts, views, and opinions regarding MindsEye below in the comments section.